Hello, I am Stephen Kosslyn. I'm the president of Active Learning Sciences Incorporated, and it's a pleasure to be here. So I'm really struck by the relevance, importance, timeliness of the very general idea underlying Taejae, which is to help students become leaders in an international context, to understand how people from other cultures think and behave in a way that they can become leaders that transcend and cross national boundaries. I find that extremely compelling. In addition, I've read a lot of materials from Taejae, and if I could, I'd like to read some quotes from some of what I've read and just say a word or two. So one is Taejae aims to educate students to become leaders who can work in harmony with people from around the world as global citizens. This strikes to the heart of the mission as I understand it. Another is educate students to understand global change and social innovation and to contribute to useful innovation. So the idea is the students are not just being taught with innovative ideas, they're taught how to think innovatively in a way that can be productive both for them and for the society and the world writ large. I find that very compelling. Educate students to collaborate as a group and accumulate useful knowledge and experiences so they can be broadly applied to a changing world. Very important. The world is continually changing. Taejae is focused on that. The idea being to help students acquire the tools to adapt, not just adapt, but lead in a changing world. Taejae offers practical education and open education at the global level, organizes and operates a curriculum that reflects the needs of society and the times. Exactly the same idea. Teacher training and seminars are conducted to improve the transfer of knowledge by professors and in lectures and to enhance student support capabilities. There's an intentionality here that is extremely appealing, that the faculty are not just going to be left to their own devices, they'll actually be helped to be able to use the science of learning and other innovations in ways that are very productive and will help the students. And finally, above all, it's possible to develop a new kind of practical knowledge. This is really what has taken me. The practical knowledge in a global context that can help not just the students, but their society and the world writ large to adapt to a changing world and become a better place. The first thing is it has to have a very clear goal. It has to have a mission and a vision which are distinctive and clearly useful, clear value proposition. So I think it does. This idea of helping students become leaders in an international context where they understand people from other cultures and can lead is fantastic. So I think no place else really has that. In addition, it's got to be innovative, but it has to be innovative, not just changing things to change them. It has to measure the consequences of innovation and use the results of those measurements to iterate, to see what's working well and what's maybe could use some improvement and actually make those improvements. It needs a culture of change, a culture of iteration in order to succeed. It has to have very concrete learning objectives, very specific kinds of things that students have to master to achieve the goal, the vision, mission of the university. And finally, Taejae needs to have absolute highest quality in everything it does, and I have every indication that it's going to. Right. So I think they should want to be leaders, and they should particularly want to be leaders in an international kind of frame. And they should be very smart because the kinds of change that are going to be needed in the 21st century are going to require solving very complex problems. So we need people who are capable of addressing such problems. They also need to be open to new experiences, need to be curious, adventurous. Taejae is doing a truly international program, moving to different countries, so you need to have that kind of orientation. They have to be action-oriented, interested in creating something new, not just taking information in or remembering it, but actually doing something with the information. And I think they really need to be altruistic. They need to be committed to making the world a better place and to trying to help other people across the international scene to be able to function, to work well together in a way that will improve everyone's lives. So evidence of leadership aptitude is really going to be important because we want to nurture and help these students become leaders who can be effective in an international context. So in addition to that, they've got to have broad interests because the world is changing and we don't know what's going to be most relevant at any given point in time, so they have to be interested in lots of different things. Also would help to be open and curious so they can adapt. It would also help to be independent, both sort of spirit, so they can consider ideas of any sort and take them where they'll go, but also in kind of the behavior in the real world. These students are going to be living in different countries and have to cope for themselves sometimes. So they're going to need to be mature in that sense. And then evidence that they can work hard. That is, Taejae is going to be challenging. It'll be extremely satisfying. Students will learn a lot, but it's a participatory activity. They're going to have to do a lot in order to learn a lot. I think it's going to be a very broad-based board. It'll have membership from various different countries, but also different professions. So everyone will be interested in education, but they won't all be educators. Some may be in educational technology, some may be in allied fields, and their job will be to track what's going on from a big picture perspective, focusing on the mission and vision and how well it's being implemented, and to make suggestions about ways that we may want to nudge things a little bit to try to more effectively accomplish the mission and goals of the university. Hello, I'm Stephen Kosslyn. I've played a role in helping develop this incredible program that you're about to take part in, and I would like to welcome you with the greatest enthusiasm. I envy and admire you having this opportunity and wish you all the best.